You're used to thinking she's around for coziness, that she simply sleeps, plays, or watches the world from the windowsill. You believe that you are her protector. You provide her with food, warmth, a roof over her head. You create safety for her. But just once, look at it differently. What if, sometimes, she is the one protecting you? Quietly, without words or gestures, she simply stands between you and something you don't even notice. You don't hear how she does it. You don't notice, but she does it. She senses when anxiety builds up inside you, when the room's atmosphere shifts, when someone approaches with ill intentions, when you lose your balance, when sickness enters the home. She isn't a wall, nor is she an alarm system. She is a soft barrier. Not everything can pass through her. Today, you'll learn about 6 moments when your cat protected you, and you might not even have realized it. Episode 1. You were highly anxious, and she went to another room. Do you remember that state when you feel a heavy weight inside? Anxiety, everything is irritating, everything is wrong? You pace the room, stare at your phone, stay silent, or say, "It's all for nothing." You're burnt out, on edge, exhausted, and she disappeared into another room, onto the windowsill, under the bed. You might think, she abandoned me when things are at their worst. But no, she left because she sensed it. Cats are sensitive creatures. When you're at the peak of your anxiety, she moves away not from you, but from the energy that could harm her. Sometimes she doesn't just leave, she takes a part of your burden upon herself, carries it to another space, grounds it, and lets it pass through her. And then she returns when it gets quieter inside you, when you don't even realize you've started to feel better. She doesn't leave because she doesn't care. She leaves in order to stay, to be near, but safely, and to keep you safe too. Episode 2. You got sick, and she lay on your chest or stomach. A fever, body aches, weakness. You lie there, your body heavy, no thoughts, no strength, and suddenly she quietly, calmly, comes and lies on your chest, your stomach, sometimes on your legs, sometimes in a way that makes it hard to move. You want to push her away. It's hot, it's heavy, but you feel it's right, as if she's holding you, warming you, protecting you. This is an ancient instinct. In a clouder, cats cover the sick with their bodies, warm them, press against them, protect them. But here, it's not just about warmth. She lies exactly where you have a problem, where it hurts, where your breathing is off, where your heart aches, where you're losing touch with yourself. She gently covers this spot. You didn't call her, you didn't ask, but she sensed it and came. She isn't a healer, but she is a guardian of your body. While you were sick, she is near. While you are weak, she is motionless. While you are silent, she simply breathes beside you, as if holding you in her field so you don't lose yourself. Episode 3. Someone you disliked came to visit, and she avoided them too. You let guests into your home. Everything seems fine. You smile, you're polite, you say what's expected, but inside there's tension. Something about this person bothers you. You can't explain it, but you feel it. They are an outsider, not one of yours. And she disappears. The cat that usually comes out at any sound, who loves attention. Today, she didn't show up. You call her, she doesn't come. She sits in a corner, behind a curtain, under the sofa, or on a wardrobe, silent, not looking. She's simply not there. And you notice, she didn't come to him because he came. Cats read subtle signals perfectly. She feels your distrust, feels how you change around this person, and she becomes an extension of your boundaries. She doesn't rush to defend. She simply doesn't yield, doesn't approach, doesn't acknowledge. It's her way of saying, "I'm with you. If you're anxious, I won't be friendly. I won't break your defense with my trust." She isn't needed for a fight. She's needed for balance. And with her silent absence, she says, "I'm on your side, even if you haven't said a word." Episode 4. You were crying, and she watched, but didn't come closer. There were evenings when you cried without words, without hysterics. You just broke down, fell apart, sat with your hands dropped, or lay with your face in a pillow. And the world was quietly crumbling inside you. And she didn't come, didn't jump on you, didn't meow, didn't touch you with her paw. She just stood there, watching from the shadows, from a corner, from a doorway, and was silent. You might have thought she didn't care, but the truth is different. A cat doesn't intrude where there's an open wound. It guards it. While you're in tears, she's on duty. She doesn't touch, doesn't interfere, but she doesn't leave. She watches, guarding the space, not letting anyone else in. This isn't comfort, it's a watch, a silent guard. You're falling apart, and she stands at the edge so you can live through it in safety. And then, when it gets quieter, she will come closer, lie down next to you, touch you, as if to say, "There, you're whole again. Now it's okay to be close." Episode 5. She won't let you sleep on your back. She sits on your chest. You lie down, exhausted. Your body begs for rest. You're falling asleep, and suddenly she sits on you, right on your chest, in the middle. Sometimes it's heavy, sometimes almost intrusive, sometimes with a look of reproach. You move her, but she comes back, again and again. You think, why right now? It's because cats are guardians of sleep. They feel your breath, your heartbeat, the tension in your muscles. If you fall asleep incorrectly, if you're overloaded, if your body is in the wrong position, she sits down to stabilize you. She sits on your chest to control your breathing because on your back you might snore, stop breathing, or go into too deep of a sleep. With her weight on you, you breathe more evenly, calmly, without interruption. Sometimes you don't even wake up and she has already regulated your sleep. This isn't a game, not a whim. It's control. Soft, serious, wordless. She intervenes when needed and leaves when she feels everything is right again. Episode 6. She will suddenly freeze, staring into space, and you feel that something is near. You're sitting or lying. A normal evening, music, lights, the rhythm of daily life. Everything seems calm, and suddenly she freezes in mid-motion, raises her head, tenses up, and stares somewhere off to the side, into nothing. At an empty corner of the room, at the stairs, or in a doorway. You turn around, nothing. It's empty, but she keeps staring, for a long time, without fear, but with caution. You laugh, saying, "What did you see there?" Or you're imagining things again, but a chill runs down your spine. What if she isn't imagining it? Cats are magical creatures, but they sense what is beyond our reach. Micro sounds, smells, air fluctuations, vibrations, energy. And if she suddenly tensed up, perhaps something entered not through the door, but into the space, into your field. Maybe it was a burst of your own emotions, a trace of anxiety, or someone else's energy that clung to you during the day. And in that moment, she stands guard, not hissing, not running away, but watching, scanning, ready not to attack, but to be a boundary. While she is on alert, you also freeze. You feel as if the air has become denser, as if something slipped by and vanished. She exhales, slowly walks away, and begins to groom herself. It's gone. You're alone again. But you weren't really. You were under protection. You may never see her pounce on an enemy. You'll never hear her growl in your defense. You'll never feel her shield you with her body. But every day she stands between you and what you cannot see. Between you and your own anxiety. Between you and illness. Between you and someone else's heavy energy. Between you and the void. She protects you silently with her presence, her calmness, an invisible guard. She doesn't want you to know. She doesn't expect gratitude. She simply senses when you are vulnerable and stands by you. A shadow, a support, a living silence. If you just remembered a moment when she was silent and watching, left and returned, sat on your chest and wouldn't move, perhaps that was the very moment she was keeping you safe. Without words, without fuss, she was just there. Give this a paw up if your cat is more than just a purr, but someone who holds your world together when you no longer can. Subscribe to Furry Secrets. Let's learn together to notice the things that once seemed trivial, because it's in these small details that her protection lies. Until next time.